kids, back in the kitchen again. I'm making a vegan cashew cream cheese today. I've made a bunch of these different kinds of cashew cheeses and they all come out pretty good, but this recipe I like so much that I'm actually tripling it because I'm going to use some of the cheese in an eggplant rollatini recipe that I want to try. Sort of, rollatini is not my invention, but I'm sort of inventing this particular recipe. So for the cheese, the recipe calls for 1 cup of raw cashews that have been soaked. Usually overnight is best, especially if you don't have a high-speed blender. 2 tablespoons of refined coconut oil, a tablespoon of lemon juice, a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, and 2 teaspoons of white miso paste, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, or however much you like. So originally I was going to just double the recipe, but I've decided to triple it, so I need another lemon. I'll be right back. Getting my lemon out of the fridge. So, as you probably know by now, if you've been hanging out with me for any length of time, I don't like to measure things too much, especially when it's cooking, not baking. Baking, you must measure. Anyway, so I'm not measuring too much, but I am measuring, sort of. I'm going to measure certain things. The lemon juice, I'm just going to squeeze 1.5 lemons. I think that's going to end up being approximately 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. So I've already soaked my cashews. They're in the blender. So now all I have to do is add all the other ingredients and whiz away. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to take some of it. I'm going to use in the recipe for the eggplant rollatini I want to make. I'm also going to take however much is left, and I'm either going to keep one plain, or I'm going to make one. You know how around the holidays, those cheese balls that you can get, the Port Wine cheese balls, and they're rolled in nuts and stuff, and take it or leave it, whether you like them or not. They're there, and people seem to like them. I'm going to make my own version. I'm going to make a smoky cheese ball. I'm going to add some flavorings to it, and then when I'm going to put it in the fridge so it'll set, and when it's set, then I'm going to wrap it. I'm going to roll it in some chopped, probably almonds, and or maybe pistachios. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. We'll see what I have. That's what I do. Whatever I have, that's what I'm going to do it with. And then I'll put it back in the fridge. It'll keep for, let's see, they say 2 weeks, but I've had these nut cheeses last me for a lot longer. And I think part of the reason this particular recipe will last so long is because of the miso paste, because it's fermented. So you can, and if it's bad, you know it's bad. It's gonna have mold on it, and not good mold. So anyway, I'm going to stop chatting quite so much, and now I'm going to start adding my ingredients. My refined coconut oil. You don't want regular coconut oil. It will taste too coconutty. So I need 3 tablespoons. Actually, I need 6 tablespoons. 6 tablespoons. And you know what? Yeah, you need that fat because you're trying to make something that's going to give you the same taste, flavor, and mouth appeal that a cheese spread would. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. If I don't count out loud, I'm a dead duck, especially with my doggies distracting me. Because you have to be, there if they need to go out. We don't want any shenanigans in the house. Okay, so lemon juice, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. If I was doing just the 1 cup, but I'm not. I'm doing 3. I'm tripling the recipe. So I have a half a lemon here that is from another recipe. That goes in. Whoop. Hey, what's the big idea? Squirting back at me. Lemons unite against the oppression of Nancy being a vegetarian. Oh, what is it, buddy? Oh, it's Daddy. Wow. You'd think there was a stranger out there. There's no stranger out there. It's my husband, my dog. Oscar will bark at anything, right, Oscar? Come here, buddy. Good boy. Good boy. You okay? It's just Daddy. Yeah, it's just Daddy. Yeah, you're a good boy. You're a good watchdog. Yes, you are. Just a minute. Let me get this in, and maybe I'll give you a you-know-what. Can't say it out loud. If you do, then you absolutely must. I probably should have put this down on the lower part of the counter. I have to stand on my toes. And I have this great lower counter on this side of my counter. It's actually about 6 inches lower than the rest of the counter, which is awesome. We did that on purpose because I like to bake and cook and stuff, and I got tired of countertops being the height they're supposed to be for men. Or, you know, maybe they didn't figure on men, but people taller than me, hey, come on, man. Come on, be nice. Lemon juice is in. 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. Ooh, I don't know if I have enough in here. We'll see. Oh yeah, I got plenty. And 3. Good. That's done. Miso, 2 teaspoons, so 6 teaspoons. Oscar, please. Come on, sweetie. Sometimes he just barks at nothing, and I have to search everywhere to make sure there isn't actually an intruder on the property, which intruders around here look more like turkeys, and that will set him off too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Notice my teaspoons are generous, but then I absolutely love the taste of miso. Miso soup is one of my favorite quick, warm, go-to breakfasts. Oscar, stop now. That's enough. You know, I usually have some sprouts in the house or whatever, and you just warm the water and add the miso to the hot water, and then stir in some, if you got leftover vegetables from the night before, or if you've got some sprouts or something that will wilt easily, like spinach, chop it up really well and throw it in there, and it's breakfast. I love that. Leftover rice. All right, 1/4 teaspoon of salt or to taste. Well, I happen to be a salt person, so and I'm gonna add that black salt that I talked about before. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. But I am gonna measure it. I'm actually, it should have 1/4, 1 1/4 teaspoons, no, 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt for triple the recipe. So I'm gonna actually just put 2 in, because the miso is a little bit salty. It's not super salty miso, but I'm gonna just do that for now, because I'm gonna add something that's not in the recipe. I'm gonna add a little nutritional yeast. Nutritional yeast gives things a very cheesy flavor. Now, some people, it doesn't agree with them and they don't like to use it. You can add a little extra miso. I put the black salt in. I can already smell that sort of cheesy smell. But I like it. I want it to taste really cheesy. And this is non-fortified, which means it doesn't have the added B vitamin that a lot of vegans and vegetarians need to have in their diet. I take a supplement for that. That's a plant-based supplement because I don't like what it does. I don't know what it is when they fortify the nutritional yeast. I understand why people don't want to use it. It upsets my stomach too. So I don't know what they do with what they're using. I don't care. I figured something else out. So again, maybe I should measure this. I'm gonna measure it for you guys and for my future reference. Okay, so here's 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons. We'll start with that. You can always add more. You can't take it back out. Just let me get that out. Get in there. You and the rest of your little coconut oil. I hate to waste anything. I'm kind of a pain that way. All right, lid goes on. It's gonna be loud, I'm sorry. I haven't figured out how to do the fancy stuff with the camera where I can just sort of mute it and you see it going around. Anyway, here we go. It's on, start. So it's struggling a little at high speed. I gotta scrape the sides down anyway. I gotta tell you, it smells pretty yummy. So if I was to keep this at this speed, it would take me all afternoon to get it smooth. So I'm going to turn the speed back up again. And away we go. Hey, Daddy. That's okay. Let's see. I have a gizmo that I've actually never used that's supposed to be really good for working with your high-speed blenders. Where'd it go? Here it is. I'm going to use it. I actually might need a little more liquid too, so I might have to do that. But let's see what happens. Okay. Yep. I don't know why, but it needs a little more liquid. Let me see. What should I do? I know. I'll shut it off and add some plant milk. So I'm just going to add a little unflavored plant milk, just a smidge. Hopefully that will do it. see if that does the trick. On you go. Okay, you might want to sit in there first. So, you know, I could like not make these videos when there's a problem and just pretend like everything always happens perfectly, but we all know that it doesn't. So, here I am trying to fix something. Still struggling. I'll go easy. So far, so good. No, we didn't go too fast too soon. It's almost done. And I don't want to add too much more liquid because I don't want it to be, you know, I want it to be spreadable, not pasty. Oh man, that is so good. And I gotta get it in the spatula. Okay, well I will. Yummy, yum, yum, yum. I'm gonna let it go at this speed because this is the speed it seems to like. Still needs to get a little bit creamier. I don't want any of that graininess that you can get from making nut cheese. Sometimes it can come out, I don't know. I'm after the flavor and the mouth appeal. And if it's not appealing, then it's not gonna do it for me. So, the flavor's there. I love the flavor. It's almost smooth enough for my liking. I suppose you could do this in a food processor. I've never tried it, but I do like making my pasta topping in a food processor. I don't like, well, I shouldn't say I don't like, because I do it all the time. But I'm trying to avoid calling things what they're not, like making fake, like Parmesan cheese out of nuts. It's not Parmesan cheese, it's nuts and salt and nutritional yeast or black salt. I like the yeast. I actually like it better than cheese. And I like to use Brazil nuts. People use almonds, and I don't think they use cashews. Mostly almonds to make what they, a Parmesan cheese substitute. I love Brazil nuts. They are so rich and so oily on their own that it really has that kind of, again, the mouthfeel and the flavor that I like. So, and I like it better than cheese because I can control the amount of salt I put in it. Sometimes I add a little garlic powder, granulated garlic. Oscar, get out of there. Oh good, it's taking the speed. I think we're almost done. When you put this in the fridge, it will set up In other words, it'll get firmer. So even though it's pretty thick now, it won't be sliceable. It's not that kind of a cheese, but you will have to kind of, you know, like when butter is a little cold, you have to kind of scrape it. It'll get almost to that point. Here we go. I'm increasing the speed a little bit more. Let's see if she'll take it. She's doing it. Yay! Love when things work. Well, that took a little longer than it should have, but hey, I changed the recipe, so I broke all the rules and now I have to live with that. So, let me get this out of the way. And let me show you what it's gonna look like. I'm going to put it all into a pretty large container. Oh, I might not even have room in this container. We'll see. New spatula. Let me use this one. All right. Wow. It's like not even, it won't even pour. It is so thick. Look at that. That's so great. Awesome. Oh my goodness. I am so looking forward to using this in recipes. So here you go. Here it goes. Look how thick that is. This is great. This is going to be great in the eggplant. I'm not going to worry about whether I have any left over for the other cheese I want to make, because this is so easy. You just have to remember to soak the damn cashews the night before, which is not a big deal. Oscar, come on, man. All right, so I'm going to need another spatula to get the rest of this out. But I'm going to finish this up. And I just want to show you a little something here. Look at how awesome that is. And like I said, after it's been in the fridge for a while, it's going to set up and it's going to be kind of firm and a little bit scrapable, but definitely spreadable. So this could be used in place of cream cheese. I'm thinking I'm going to make one of those after it sets up. I'm going to make one of those balls that rolls in nuts. I'm probably going to add some, let's see, definitely garlic powder, probably some onion powder, smoked paprika, maybe some little cayenne. I don't know yet. I'm going to play with that and see what it comes out like, and I'll let you know next time. If you like the video, you know what to do. Thumbs up, subscribe. Bam!